Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your loving host, Shorty, and today it's time to Master the Universe Revelation. Now, my hand is covering a little bit of this cover up, the excellent Mike Mignola B cover for those who are interested. And the I'm covering up is that little thing there, which says, if I can read it out properly, the official prequel to the upcoming Netflix animated series. Just why it's come out, and it's why I'm reviewing it, but it's also why I'm going to spend a couple of seconds saying the word prequel is not appropriate here. Prequel is basically, it's a portmanteau of two words, pre and sequel. Basically, it's set before, but comes out after, as in a sequel, something that comes out after, but set before. For instance, the very popular Star Wars prequel trilogy. This has come out before the TV series. It's not a prequel. Sorry, I know it's a totally random thing, but every time I see it, it bugs me a little bit. Anyway, the comic book itself. Because of the setting of it, I feel like it's going to have to be discussed in terms of how easy it is for somebody who may not know the entire story to come and pick it up. And I say that simply because I remember as a small child watching the He-Man series and having some of the toys. But I have not read or encountered in any way, shape or form any of the other media. No, at all. There was the really terrible movie. I watched that as well. But again, I was a kid and I wasn't really paying too much attention. So there could be a whole bunch of stuff that's happened which might add more to the story here that I'm not encountered. The thing is, I'm not sure if that's the case. They do talk about a lot of lore and mythology, and maybe all this information was there in the TV series, which I'm forgetting, because I remember Big Man Do Strong Thing, and not really paying attention to the lore that they could have interwoven in the stories masterfully without me noticing. So I have to come at it, it's kind of cold, and see what happens. And it is a weirdly complex, I might even say convoluted story of interdimensional entities, time traveling, and alternate realities. Totally not what I was expecting from He-Man, and unfortunately not brilliantly handled. Kevin Smith is the person who's down as a creator force. He did the story, but he didn't actually write it. Story by Kevin Smith and Rob David, script by Tim Sheridan. And Sheridan clearly has taken a bit of inspiration from Kevin Smith, and it is very, very verbose. But the times when that works well, it's great. There's an awful lot of box-out text where it sets up the epic story that is to come, particularly this nice double-page spread with all that text at the top there. That is quite cool. It's over the top. It is epic in the scale. It's trying to make you think the story is the same kind of thing. And it is effective. It works quite nicely. But when you get to the actual character interaction and dialogue, that kind of heavy-handed approach to writing isn't quite as effective. It slows it down. It bogs it down even to the point that some of the sequences feel like they're drawn too thin to give them time to get all this verbiage onto the page. And the story is just unusual. I don't really want to get too much into it because it could be spoilers for people who are either going to read the comic book or are going to watch the TV series and want to come into it clean. I don't know. But time-traveling extra-dimensional entities which mind poison people is just something which doesn't fit in with also Big Man Do Strong Thing. It's a clash, unfortunately. And the clash doesn't just stop there. The art style clashes as well. I mean, I'm going to show you this page again because I do genuinely like this page. You're not going to be able to see much of it with that light we have here. But there's just enough detail in there for me to really, really like it. I like the sky. I like the widescreen kind of nature of it. That kind of like long shot from a distance happens quite a lot to this comic book, and it's always effective. But then there's close-ups, and it is much more cartoony. Not to say that there isn't a consistency there. All the characters are recognizable, no matter like how they're drawn or from how close they're drawn. They are all very clearly who they are set out to be, and the quality is always good. But the style of big, bold, epic, widescreen, floating camera taking in the events that are going to shape and change people's lives and the future and countries and generations and destinies, all that's going on. And then close-ups of, I probably should have had one of these slightly readier to go. Just bear with me. Not very, right, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to, there's a fight scene I'm trying to find because it's actually really quite effective, and this is now becoming a very problematic bit of the review. Yes, here we go. But yeah, that bit there is just a little bit too kind of simplistic. And yes, it's bold in its own way, but there's just a lack of detail and a lack of attention paid to it. And it's very disappointing compared to the epic grand scale that's actually going on. All in all, it's trying very hard but cannot tonally get through its intent without revealing that it's probably not the right time and place to be telling that story. And that is unfortunate because I really wanted to like it. But it's just not what I wanted it to be. Who knows? Other people may get different mileage. Maybe it turns out that this entire story is something that Masters of the Universe fans have been really looking forward to because it's been foreshadowed for years. Who knows? Not I. But anyway, that's it from me. I'm going to come back and do another review later on today. Until then, look after each other. Stay safe. Bye.